Hello there. Oh my God. Instagram and Facebook have been down. I just love when Mercury retrograde proves it's like when Mercury retrograde just comes out and it's like, yeah, I'm really going to snatch everybody's existence right now. Mercury retrograde is a real thing, which is why I've been talking about it so much. And it, it, um, it really, when Mercury retrograde happens and Instagram and Facebook and all that sort of stuff go down and technology breaks down and all that sort of stuff is a major theme, it's really to help us, to me, understand that energy is the only thing that's going on here. Only energy. There's nothing else but energy. And so this just really excites me because the more we learn to not pay attention to what we see and pay attention to what we feel, we will start to really understand energy in a different way. So, first thing is, somebody sent me a beautiful gift. Like this, if you recognize these cards, I just want to say thank you so much. And I think maybe it says love Bethany, like the handwriting is not clear enough for me to really be able to understand everything that was written here. But the gift, the scarf, the kindness, I just want to say thank you so much. And I am so grateful that the work that I do is helping. That's all I really give a fuck about. Like the fact that you guys are able to take what I share and look into your own life and have new perspectives means so much. And, you know, purpose and mission are everything for me. My work is my everything. My work is my everything. And so I'm here to be of service. And that's all I'm here for. I'm only here to serve. I'm a Virgo. I'm a 6th house Virgo. I have the Sun, Jupiter, Pluto, and Uranus all in Virgo. Okay, so I am here to serve. And the only thing I'm not doing when I'm not serving you all is really just serving myself so that I can really, take care of my own energy and be a resource. So I have to always sort of recalibrate my energy often. So today the moon is in Virgo and today is a moon day. And the moon is in the balsamic phase. It's in the dark of the moon. We're about to have a new moon in Libra. This new moon in Libra is about to be a real game changer, like a real game changer. And I encourage you to set intentions, like really, I have been, the retrograde is whatever is happening in the retrograde is a good place for you to start, right? So for me with the retrograde, I've been really seeing how I have participated in relationships that enabled other people, that were codependent. I'm really seeing my shadow, and like I have a shadow that is like helplessness. Like it's one of the things when I was young, like I've talked about, like people really would feel sorry for me, and there was just a lot of pity to go around. And then I had a child who had special needs, so there was more pity to go around. And so I really realized one day that I was going to have to flip that energy unless I was going to create my entire life around people fucking feeling sorry for me. And it just dawned on me one day, like you don't, like none of this stuff means that you're worse off. And I was in a relationship with somebody since we were really young who had a life that was really opposite mine, right? So I had parents who were addicts and in jail. They had parents who were upstanding and a minister, and they were middle class and had money, and I didn't. So there was a lot of projecting that went on between us. And so I spent a lot of time, my early childhood, like really feeling sorry for myself, feeling like the world was against me and I was never going to make it. Like I had all of this really negative narrative going on that was very disempowering to myself. And I'm seeing the shadow of that. I'm seeing like how, there were ways that I manipulated and lied and deceived and all sorts of things. And here's the thing, it's not to judge myself, right? I'm not noticing so that I can judge myself and make myself wrong. I'm really noticing so that I can just forgive myself for not knowing better. You know what I mean? It's this the experience of being black in this country for some of us or many of us can be really rooted in a lot of deep shadow stuff. I was 38 when I had my first child. I was 14 when I had my first abortion. By the time I was 21 or 22, I had had like 3 or 4 abortions because that was the thing that I wasn't going to do. I was not about to have a lot of fucking kids. I saw it all around me. And I knew that if I had children really early, it would weigh on the energy in my family in a way that would not, like, that I would end up in a lot of turmoil. Oh God, I'm just remembering that I turned on the teapot because I'm supposed to be drinking this tea. Let me say, my house is a total disaster. Yeah, my house is a bit of a disaster. So I'll come back for that. So anyway, so I had a number of abortions really young. And this, and went to college and did my best to begin to like overcome my trauma because I knew that, like I said, I knew that if I started having children, it would sink me. Like I wouldn't, like I hadn't been mothered, right? I hadn't been mothered well. So I had no idea how to mother. And I just was not wanting to put myself in those kind of scenarios. So anyway, somebody here is, so it's just a very interesting thing to really look at the shadow of our lives and take responsibility for it and feel it in a deep way and really do the forgiveness work, right? To reclaim the energy, to let go of the stories, let go of the scenarios. Somebody here said, I don't know who this is. She said, I hate your stinking guts. I don't know what that's about. I don't know who you are. And I don't even know if you're talking to me. So, but I just light and love to you. I mean, really, like light and love. Like we have every right to heal ourselves. And this energy on the planet right now is demanding that we do that. And the only way I know to do that is to take responsibility for every choice I've ever made, and we've all been influenced, right? So Christianity was a huge influence for me, racism, all those things. But it's like how to turn the scenarios around so that we're empowered by them. And for me, the only way I have been able to do that is by looking at it through the lens of compassion and love. And really understanding, for many of us in the Black community, especially, just even in America, there's so much division, there's so much political division, there's so much illusions and competition, and like capitalism breeds a really ruthless thing. It really does. Like this country was founded upon the buying and selling of other human beings. And if we want to take responsibility for our own lives, we have to see how we participated in that stuff. And it's hard to look at. It's hard to actually to do that. But we're participating. Right now, I was just reading that there's a oil spill off the coast of California. And that just breaks my heart. And we are addicted to oil. We keep using oil. We keep we keep encouraging using products that require oil, and so they're going to keep pumping the oil because we keep doing it, and until we do something different, we're going to continue to fuel these industries that are doing harm to the earth. And so I just, like, I remember about 4 years ago, Spirit told me to get rid of my car. And I was like, well, what do you mean get rid of my car? You need a car in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? It's just, there's no other way to really get around. And so I did. I got rid of my car, and now I either walk or I get a ride or I take Uber. I think I'm about to buy a bicycle, So, and those are just ways that I do my best to sort of support the healing of the planet. But I'm fucking up stuff all the time. You know what I mean? I use a lot of garbage and all these sort of things, but it's like the questioning, like literally, can we take responsibility? She says we have to have a mass restructuring to figure out how to live in a way without oil in the first place. Absolutely. I mean, and we all have to, and one person alone is not enough. And the industry is so tricky. These industries, all of them are so tricky, so addicted to the things that we're addicted to. It's just, like, how do we change our behavior? And that's the spiritual question. Like, how do I change my behavior? How do I look at this in a different way? How do I behave in a different way? How do I, begin to redefine success, begin to redefine happiness, begin to redefine love, like begin to redefine these things that have us all in pursuit of things that really aren't good for us or the planet. That's why that's why we have this COVID experience going on, because we are so out of alignment with nature. We're so out of alignment with nature. And it's just an opportunity to get curious, to ask, right? It's not about judging yourself. It's not about making yourself wrong. It's just about asking, how could I become more aligned? And I have experiences where I'm really good at it for a while. Like, I might garden for a long period of time, and then something will happen and I'm off and I'm on to, things again. And so, this is just the time that we're living in. This is just the time that we live in. And we are changing eras. We're living through an era change. And it means that we need to have a massive awakening, which we're doing it. And then as we have a massive awakening, we will start changing our behavior and our patterns. Like, we will start to become a more reliable people, reliable community, and stop the behaviors that continue to perpetuate the addictions. So the moon is the day that it governs Monday, and the moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is about integrating our, hold on one second. That's where I get stuck, and I know it's coming from being abused as a child. Oh, what do you mean that's where you get stuck? Do you think the whole Facebook, Instagram? Oh yeah, it was all Mercury retrograde. I love that. Mercury retrograde is so powerful. Yeah, everything shut down because of Mercury retrograde. And this is why I honor the planets. This is why I honor the planets, because when you honor them, they're inside of you. It's the planets are not outside of us, right? So when we honor them inside of us, like this Mercury retrograde, like looking at our relationships, looking at your shadow, looking at, like, I'm telling you, this shadow work right now is really fucking kicking my ass. I literally, like the stuff that I'm seeing about myself. Like, I realized that I was in a relationship for 40 years where I just, what do I want to say? Where I didn't know my value, where I really didn't know my value. And I participated in ways that were harmful to myself. And I didn't even know that I was doing it. That's the thing. Like, I didn't even know I was doing it. So I'm looking at the ways that I have done harm to myself. And and then one and the why of it, right? The environment I grew up in, the childhood I grew up in. Like, I grew up in a family of people who stole and lied. Like, that was just the norm in my family structure. You know, like there was always somebody who was in jail, and we would always say, oh, such and such is away at college, right? When they were in jail, we would say they were away at college. I mean, just so much trauma in my family and so much behavior that re-traumatized. And so as I'm looking at this Mercury retrograde, I'm really taking responsibility for myself, really having to look at how I did my own self in, yes, trying to get and keep things in order to be able to complete until it's done. Yeah. So use today to, like, it's a kind of a quiet day, but just see, as we are coming into the new moon in Libra, what's your intention moving forward in the way that you relate to others? Rick, really, one of the things that I see so often is so many women are so fixed on wanting love, like a partner, right? And we want love and a partnership without really knowing our power, or what we bring to relationship, or how to use our magic. Because if you're a woman and you don't have magic to offer to a man, you really don't have any power. You really don't have any real value, because men don't access magic in the way that we do. So if we are so fixed in the external reality, and we are relying on a man for money and relying on him for protect, like, really, a man needs us for protection. A man needs a woman to access abundance. We have it turned around the wrong way. And so, and it doesn't mean that you got to be out there working for money. I'm just saying, but if you're a magical woman who's tapped into your power and your energy, and really able to lean into your feminine power, you are the greatest asset any man can ever even know. But if you don't understand how to use your power, then you really don't have anything to offer a man. Honestly, you don't. And then we have Kevin Samuels. So, and Kevin Samuels is the result of men who value themselves and their assets more, because they are not with women who understand how to use magic, how to use energy, how to create, like women who are in their real true power. So, like, really get clear about your value. What's your value? What do you have to offer? I'm really clear that when the men that are in my life, if they are tapped in and willing, if I'm trusting myself, then their lives are going to flourish because of me, because of my energy, because of my love, because of my sight, because of my gifts, because of my magic. They're not going to go wrong because I got it. So if your energy as a woman is not on point like that, then you can't even expect to attract a man who can anchor into what it is that you have that he could never even access. That's why I'm like, when women are so focused on money, then you really are, you're of the world. And if a woman is too of the world, she doesn't have any real value. It's as simple as that. So, get clear about your value. And if you don't know what your value is, if you don't know how your magic works, if you don't, then get your priorities in line. Because if you're not functioning in the way that you're divinely created to function, that's a worthiness issue. That means you don't have a good sense of worth. And it's okay. If you don't know your magic, your power, and how you are a benefit to everyone around you, then you don't know your worth. If you're hustling and fussing and trying to get and all that kind of stuff, if you're doing all that, you don't know your worth. So this is a great new moon to really get some clarity on what's your real worth, what's your real value, what's your impact, what's your magic, what's your relationship with the divine, with the unseen, with the mystery. That's where your power comes from. So if you don't understand that stuff, then you have work to do. And most of us do. So it's okay, because we're at the beginning of a new age. So you're not late. That's the good news. You're not late. Nothing is wrong. So with that, I'm the Moon Mama. I'm still in recovery. I literally, this morning, I'm drinking these teas and these bitters that my doctor have given to me, but my digestion system is starting to come back in a way that I'm like, okay, here we come. And I am just looking forward tomorrow, or on the 6th, Pluto goes direct. So that means that we're going to have all these revelations and, things. Pay attention to what's going on in your life. Pay attention to your shadow. Pay attention to the places where you're hiding out, or all those kind of things. And just whatever shows up in your life, just ask, how do I take responsibility for this? How did I create this is the question. How did I create this? So, let me, in honor of the person who sent me a message yesterday saying that it bothered them that I say the word fuck, I want to say fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. So thank you for that. And if I'm not here for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I have done the work enough in my own life to be able to manage light and shadow. And I don't carry shame about the stuff that I do or say. Like I said, I've been in open relationships. I have been in relationships with men who have wives. I have done all that. Like, I have done all that. And I'm free. I'm a free grown-ass woman. I fuck who I want. I say what I say. I work for myself. I'm here because I'm a free-ass bitch. I really am. I want y'all to understand that. And that means that we can all be free. None of us have to be subject to anybody else's narrative about us. So, I love y'all very much. Have a great fucking day. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.